Monster, monster, monster. Like that shit. And the hey Smiths, like that opening and ending are perfect, dude. Like, especially that ending song, dude. I just want to see Smith's crew so badly because Smith is fucking awesome. I have to read the manga. Like, as soon as I catch up on Prison School, which I should be completely caught up in the next couple days, we're starting Monster Musume, like, just straight up, because this series is so fucking funny, dude. Like, so much done right. Monster Musume, episode 5. I'm not gonna lie, the beginning of this episode, SUU just straight up going on a rampage, raping everyone. Yuri tentacle slime scenes out the asshole, everybody getting drenched and whatnot. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed those scenes, dude. I found it hilarious, and it's something which I'm gonna talk about this in the latter half of the review, but how they get into the intricacies of the monster girls and use it for the fan service is beautiful to me. So, like I said, I'm somebody who really enjoys fan service, but only when it's not just fan service for the sake of fan service, and the fan service is done so well, dude. Like, I just don't like series where they just toss out fan service blatantly over and over again. There's no substance or depth to the characters. The comedy is dry. I don't like series like those. Ecchi harm series like these. And yes, it's cliche in a lot of aspects. Yes, it's cliche in a lot of aspects, but the Monster Girls just adds that niche to it that makes it so beautiful. But let's talk about the beginning of this episode, dude. SUU just straight up raping everybody, trying to absorb the moisture because they're getting wet and whatnot. And when MIIA and CEREA turn to each other, they're like, yo, like, does this mean that if we get wet, SUU's gonna rape us? I'm like, oh, this shit is hilarious, dude. And you had, dude, I love what Lurch did throughout this episode with the animation, the art style. Once again, I have to reiterate, the color palettes. Monster Musume just looks clean, dude, and the censorship is done in such a tasteful way. Like, I'm really enjoying this anime. But I love stylistically what they did, like, especially the scenes with SUU when she's just looming and whatnot. They have, like, the fucking kind of, like, rumble characters on screen. I'm, like, just on some JOJO aesthetic. I'm like, yo, this shit is beast, dude. You have fucking MIIA staring down SUU over there, and then, you know, Darling-kun comes over with Mero in the wheelchair, and SUU tries to attack. I'm just like, oh my god, this shit is beast. But that shit was hilarious. SUU is that shit. I love how they're using her character and, you know, the way her slime girl quirks work to get this kind of effect out of it, dude. Like, seeing her rape Poppy, that shit was hilarious, dude. That was the best one. The CEREA shit was weird because it's just like this weird-ass blob underneath, you know, her fucking blouse or whatever you want to call that shit, her dress, just behind there on the ass of the fucking horse. I'm just like, nah, I don't know how I feel about that. But the Poppy shit was golden. Poppy ass shot later. This episode is fucking me. Poppy's character is just really good. But Mero, let's talk about Mero. Mero gets introduced this episode. I like her. I really fucking like this character. But what she did more than anything for me this episode is reaffirm that Mia's best girl for me. Like, I can't get over it. She's too good, and especially with Amamiya Sora. Like, I say this every episode, but I love her as a VA, so it enhanced it, dude. What they did with fucking MIIA, like, in her jealousy, and when she would, like, have those internal monologues this episode, like, the way they distorted the voice, like, just stylistic things like that, I'm like, oh my god, this is hilarious, right? But ultimately, the episode, the comedy was hilarious, and like I said, I love how they use the unique elements of the Monster Girls, like, with SUU and her, you know, dehydration and her wanting to, you know, get water, you know, how they use the temperature, you know, with MIIA and her character, you know, exemplifying how the Lamia is cold-blooded. Even further than that, you know, with Mero's character introduction, we found out that, you know, she's coated in mucus, the very fact that she can't walk, she's in the wheelchair, and everything like that, how she can't, the gills and everything. I'm just like, the attention to detail. And once again, I forgot to look at the insert at the end of the very end of the episode and see if they gave us, you know, a whole mermaid line and some in-depth description on that. But I just love how they use that with this series, how, you know, this manga actually uses the intricacies of the Monster Girls to its benefit and actually integrates it into the comedy and to the ecchi aspects. So that shit was beast. Mero's introduction, like, I knew something was off about her ever since she was introduced, and seeing her mentality, like, I love her. Straight up, I love her. But after this episode, she's right now currently at the bottom of the list because it's too soon. It's too soon. She hasn't done enough. Like, I love that ending where she's just fondling Mia's tits and she's telling her how she wants, you know, a tragic love, and how she's, you know, read the Little Mermaid and how she wants, you know, she's seen these plays of these twisted romances and that's what she wants. So she basically wants to help Mia. She's saying that she's going to aid Mia in getting Darling-kun That's why she's so curious that he has a boyfriend, so she can be the side bitch and have this fucked up relationship. I'm just like, yo, she's crazy. She's absolutely insane. And as well as, you know, what Centorea was noting when she was talking to her, the presence of this kind of like regal, you know, queenly presence that she has. I'm guessing she's some sort of princess or something like that, especially with her demeanor and how she acts, and, you know, what CEREA pointed out. I could easily see that. But in terms of her character design, I fucking love her. She's sexy as fuck. She probably, in terms of her character design, is probably one of my favorites for the monster girls we've seen thus far. But in terms of personality and character depth, she's at the bottom of the list right now. All the other girls, MIIA shining at the top, SUU and PAPI are tied at number 2, CEREA, and then I would say we got MERO'S slot at the bottom. But we'll see. I mean, the best girl list is bound to change going forward, and we'll get some different deviations and everything like that. So I'm hype. I don't know when we're going to get it on the manga. I'm going to bet and say that it's going to be before this court ends, before we, you know, finish this season, because I'll be done with prison school. I'll be caught up on prison school within the week. So I'm most likely going to get on the manga as soon as I'm done with that. So it's going to be sometime soon. I just need, you know, the uncensored, raw, uncut vibes. I need to get, you know, further, and I want to see Smith's crew, dude. Like, I just really want to see that and, you know, get all the girls in the harem, get Darling-kun's harem fully stacked and dive into some things, dude, because the comedy is going to be fucking hilarious if this is any indication going forward. And I'm finally done questioning myself. I'm finally, like, I enjoy this the same as I enjoy any, you know, fan service heavy series. Like, I'm into it. Yes, it's kind of weird. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm feeling like, yes, ultimately it's strange, but I don't know. I still enjoy it. So let me know your thoughts. I'm loving this series. So much fun. Even though you could argue that in terms of its progression and the structure and the scenario and everything like that, it definitely has that typical, you know, harem ecchi series vibe, but what sets it apart and what gives it that niche and how the comedy is driven by the individual quirks of the various monster girls, I love that shit. So that's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts. MIIA for the fucking win. Like, seeing her after that scene where Darling's just holding her, like saving her from the pool and everything like that. I'm just like, oh my goodness. I don't know how I was ever ready to let you go. She's just too real. Like, straight up this whole episode, her jealousy and going against MERO'S and challenging MERO'S just like it was like her fighting for that #1 spot, dude. So that's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts, and I'm out. Peace.